You're nothing but our maid with a paycheck, my wife's son sneered as I scrubbed the floor after a 14-hour shift. My wife laughed, at least he's good for something. I didn't argue. I just took my keys. 1 month later, their perfect life collapsed and my phone blew up with 63 missed calls. I was scrubbing dried spaghetti sauce off the kitchen floor, still wearing my steel-toe boots from a 14-hour shift when my stepson leaned in, smirked, and said loud enough for the whole room to hear. You're nothing but our maid with a paycheck. And my wife? She laughed. Loud. Not the forced kind either. The real kind. The kind that cuts straight to the bone. At least he's good for something, she snorted, sipping her wine and scrolling on her phone. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I didn't break the mop over my knee like the movie scene playing in my head. I just stood up, walked to the counter, picked up my keys, and 1 month later, their perfect little life imploded. And my phone, dead silent for weeks, lit up with 63 missed calls. Let me back up. You gotta understand, I wasn't always this guy. I'm 39. I work construction. Long hours. Good pay. Enough to give my wife and her son a decent life. We met 4 years ago. She was the stunning, sharp, confident woman, single mom, ran her own little Etsy shop on the side. Her son, Tyler, was 15 then, bit of a punk, but what teenage boy isn't? I thought I could be the good guy. The guy who stuck around. Paid the bills. Helped raise her son. Showed up. And for a while, it worked. But something shifted after the wedding. I went from hero boyfriend to invisible ATM overnight. It was little things at first. Her, oh babe, since you're up, can you grab groceries? And pay the electric? And Tyler needs new sneakers. Me, of course. Then bigger things. Her, hey, I'm thinking of quitting the shop. Just too much stress. You're killing it at work anyway. I didn't argue. I wanted her happy. But after that, the house became a prison. Every free second I wasn't working, I was scrubbing, fixing, cooking. Tyler, now 19, sat on his PlayStation all day, jobless, smug, calling me old man, and step-jump behind my back. Thought I didn't hear? I heard everything. My wife? She enabled it. Boys will be boys, she'd say. You're too sensitive. I should have left sooner. But you trick yourself. This is a rough patch. She loves me. It'll change. It didn't. The night everything broke? I just finished a brutal 14-hour shift on site. Rained all day. My back was killing me. I got home to find takeout containers everywhere. Wine glasses on the counter. Tyler and 2 of his layabout friends. And the floor? Looked like someone had thrown a damn food fight. I didn't say a word. Just grabbed the mop. Halfway through, Tyler sauntered over, beer in hand, and dropped that line. You're nothing but our maid with a paycheck. His friends howled. And my wife? She laughed. At least he's good for something. That was it. No blow up. No big scene. Just me walking out the front door with my keys and wallet. Here's where it gets fun. What they didn't know. I'd been planning my exit for months. See, I'm not as dumb as they thought. You spend enough nights alone in your truck eating cold sandwiches on break, you start thinking. And I'd started noticing things. Credit card bills piling up in my name. Her little Etsy hobby actually tanking with refund requests I'd been quietly covering. Tyler taking out a high-interest car loan with my co-signature forged. Yeah, they thought I was too tired, too trusting, too stupid to notice. Wrong. 3 months before that night, I started preparing. Opened a separate bank account. Rerouted my direct deposit. Pulled my credit report, found the forged cosign, and froze my credit. Hired a lawyer, friend of a buddy from work who specialized in divorce and asset protection. I didn't tell anyone. Not even my brother. I just documented. Everything. Screenshots. Photos. Bank statements. The works. After I walked out that night, I slept in my truck for 2 nights. Couldn't face my brother yet. Then, 3rd day, I met with my lawyer. She smiled and slid a folder across the table. You're going to love this, she said. Turns out, thanks to their stupidity, I had a rock-solid case. All major bills paid from my account. Mortgage solely in my name. Her business run entirely on my credit cards. Proof of forgery on Tyler's loan. Best part? The house? Fully paid off last year by me. She'd assumed it was ours. Legally? Mine. Next step? I filed for divorce. Served her at 7 a.m. on a Monday, certified mail, full legal bomb. Locked down all joint accounts. Froze credit. Changed every password. Then I sent one group text to her and Tyler. You have 30 days to vacate my home. Any property damage will be prosecuted. Lawyer info attached. Do not contact me directly. Radio silence for a week. Then, the meltdown began. First the texts. You can't do this to us. Where am I supposed to go? Tyler is just a kid. Then the calls. Dozens. Followed by rage. You'll pay for this. You'll regret ever meeting us. I ignored everyone. Week 3? My brother let me crash at his place. That's when word spread. Turns out my wife had been lying to everyone, painting me as an abusive deadbeat who couldn't handle a real family. But now? Her cards were declined. Her shop shut down. The car, also in my name? Repoed. And Tyler? Car loan called in. Debt collectors circling. Then came the kicker. A mutual friend sent me a screenshot. Tyler had posted on Facebook. FML. Stepchump left us high and dry. Mom says we might lose the house. If anyone knows a cheap place to crash, hit me up. Underneath? 63 missed calls lit up on my phone. From her. From him. From blocked numbers. Why? Because that morning they'd gotten the final notice. Eviction date set. So here I sit. In my brother's guest room. Peaceful. Employed. Debt-free. Their perfect little world? Collapsed. All because they mistook kindness for weakness. And me? I'm just getting started. Update 1. You won't get away with this, she screamed. I just smiled. Because by then it was already too late for her. Man, I did not expect this to blow up the way it did. My inbox? Absolute chaos. To everyone who messaged, thank you. The support's been overwhelming. I promised an update and trust me, the next chapter gets wild. So let's rewind. I was 2 weeks post-walkout. Divorce filed. House locked down. Lawyer on point. My brother's guest room became my little haven, tiny but mine. Mattress on the floor, gym bag in the corner. Every night after work, I'd crash there, answering exactly 0 calls from the circus blowing up my phone. Meanwhile, the eviction clock was ticking. My wife and her precious Tyler? They did exactly what you'd expect. Ignored the first notice. Claimed legal loopholes to their Facebook peanut gallery. Laughed about me being too broke to finish the process. But here's the thing about arrogance, it makes you sloppy. And I've been playing the long game. Week 3 is when the real fireworks started. First, a little background. A lot of you asked, how did they not know the house was only in my name? Simple. When we first moved in, my wife didn't care about paperwork. She wanted Instagram-ready decor, not legal fine print. The mortgage? I handled it. The title? Filed under my name alone, smart advice from an old buddy after his own nasty divorce. She assumed marriage made it 50-50ths. Nope. Not in my state. Not without her name on the deed. Anyway, week 3. I get a text from my lawyer. They've lawyered up. Expect noise soon. Stay calm. That night? Boom. Email bomb from her new lawyer. Claims I was abusive. Claims I abandoned the family. Claims I had no right to the house. And my favorite. Client demands spousal support and continued residence until financial mediation. I laughed so hard my brother came in to check on me. See, what her lawyer didn't know. I'd already documented 4 years of sole income. Every utility, mortgage, repair paid by me. Her shop was a financial black hole, 0 contribution. Tyler? Legal adult, no job, no dependency. Oh, and I'd also installed home security cams 3 weeks before leaving on my lawyer's advice. Full video records of Tyler throwing parties. My wife badmouthing me to friends. Her laughing about milking the old man for all he's worth. All date stamped. Admissible. Day 25. Countdown, 5 days to eviction. That's when the desperation campaign began. 1 fake social media victim posts. Suddenly my wife was a survivor. Claimed I'd financially trapped her. Painted Tyler as a poor abused son forced to defend his mom. Friends started messaging me. Bro, what's going on? Is this true? Lucky for me, I had receipts. I sent a simple group text. For those confused, legal counsel engaged. All claims are false. Any harassment will be documented. Silence. To anonymous CPS call. Yep. Child Protective Services shows up at my brother's, says they got a tip about unsafe conditions for a minor in my care. Except, there's no minor. Tyler's 19. Caseworker looked embarrassed. Sorry, sir. Looks like a false report. Another documented incident for the file. 3 fake police wellness check. 2 squad cars show up. Report of a man threatening self-harm. I was literally in the garage fixing my brother's drill. Cops were cool. 1 glance at me, 1 chat, and they knew it was bogus. Day 27. Countdown, 3 days to eviction. Here's where karma really came to party. A mutual friend tipped me off, apparently Tyler's car, remember that forged cosign, had been repoed. He defaulted on payments. Debt collectors were circling him like sharks. And then I got a juicy email from my lawyer. Check your credit report. Some activity. Guess what? New credit cards opened in my name. Fraudulent. Guess who? Yep. Tyler. Using stolen info. We filed police charges that day. Now here's where it gets cinematic. Day 30. Eviction served. They had 24 hours to vacate. I took the next day off work. Sat in my truck across the street. Just watched. No moving truck. No help. Just chaos. Tyler storming around. My wife screaming at some poor neighbor to help carry the TV. End of the day? They left. Slamming the front door so hard the wreath fell off. Next morning I walked through my house. It was trashed. Holes in walls. Garbage everywhere. Loser scrawled on the bathroom mirror in lipstick. But the cameras? Caught it all. We filed vandalism charges. And then, the cherry on top. Her lawyer dropped her. Too many false claims exposed. So where are they now? From what I hear, Tyler couch surfing with a buddy, no car, no job, pending charges. My wife staying with her sister, 0 spousal support granted, judge laughed at her request. And my phone? Lit up the morning after eviction. 63 missed calls. Texts range from, "You'll regret this," to, "Please, let's just talk, we can fix this." Spoiler, I didn't answer. So where does this leave me? House? Mine. Debt? Cleared and protected. Divorce? Moving fast, uncontested now that she's broke. Reputation? Solid. Friends saw the truth when the false claims collapsed. Legal? I'm letting the courts handle the vandalism plus fraud. No mercy. And me? I'm sleeping like a damn baby. Eating real meals. Lifting again. Reconnecting with old friends. Peace hits different when you stop saving people who only sink you. Update 2. You need to see this. My lawyer's voice was tight. When I opened the file she sent, my jaw hit the floor. Because the next phase wasn't just about my wife anymore. Alright, Reddit. Buckle up. When I posted the first update, I figured that was the peak, the eviction, the charges, the collapse. I was wrong. What came next? Made everything before look like the opening act. So where did we leave off? House, mine. Wife plus stepson, evicted. Charges, pending vandalism, credit fraud. Phone, 63 missed calls ignored. I was 2 weeks into normal life again. Cleaning up the house. Fixing the damage. Getting back to work. Even grabbed drinks with some old buddies who I hadn't seen since before the chaos. Life was good. Too good. Then came the call. My lawyer, let's call her Marissa, hits me up early one morning. "Hey, you home?" "Yeah. You need to check your email. Now." Inside? A single PDF. Labeled, Discovery Findings, Home Office Documents. Backstory. When I first reclaimed the house, I boxed up all the old papers from our shared home office. Mostly junk. But one box? I gave to Marissa's team. They'd insisted, never know what might be useful. Turns out, gold mine. I opened the PDF. Page 1, bank statements. Not mine. Not joint. A hidden personal account opened under her maiden name. Guess who'd been funneling thousands into it from my accounts for months? Little schemes here, little schemes there. Total? Nearly $27,000. Page 2, emails. Between her and a man I'll call D. Not a relative. Not a friend. A business partner. Dating back over a year. But here's the gut punch. One email, timestamped 3 weeks before I walked out. D.A. He's catching on. We may need to accelerate. If I can get the house in my name during the divorce, we're set. Worst case, we bleed him dry in court. T. Bleed me dry. Page 3, screenshots. Venmo transfers. My wife D. Loan repayment. Rent help. Trip fund. Thousands. I was floored. Not only was she plotting with this guy behind my back, she was funding him with my hard-earned pay. But wait, there's more. Page 4, hotel receipts. 2 nights mid-month. Both while I was pulling double shifts. Both billed to my credit card. Who was checked in as the second guest? D. By now? I wasn't even angry. Just cold. Focused. Game on. Marissa's team filed for an amendment. Adding financial fraud. Pursuing asset recovery. Targeting D as a third-party co-conspirator. But here's where it gets next level. A week later, another email from Marissa. Subject, incoming subpoena, thought you'd want a heads up. Apparently, D had just hired his own lawyer. Why? Because his wife found out. Yup. He was married. 2 kids. And his wife? Furious. She'd seen Venmo alerts. Dug through his phone. Found my wife's messages. Yeah? She's filing. And subpoenaing MY records to help prove adultery and financial misconduct. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Next twist? Tyler. One night I'm unwinding Netflix, beer, quiet. Doorbell rings. I peek through the camera. Tyler. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity won. I opened the door just a crack. His face? Destroyed. Eyes bloodshot. Skin gray. Hands shaking. Man. Please. I didn't know about the money. I didn't know about D. She told me you were cheating. That you were going to leave us homeless. I said nothing. He kept rambling. She's losing it. She's blaming me. I got kicked from my buddy's place. I got nothing. And then he dropped this. She made me file that CPS report. She said it would scare you into settling. Bingo. Proof of malicious false report. I calmly told him, anything else you'd like to confess? Because this is going straight to my lawyer. He broke. Told me everything. The staged social media posts. The harassment calls. The fake wellness check setup. And best of all, screenshots of his mom telling him to do it. I took them. Logged everything. Handed it all to Marissa. Result? We filed additional charges. Defamation. Malicious prosecution. Attempted fraud. Current status? My wife. Facing. Divorce. Financial fraud. Asset recovery. Potential criminal charges. Subpoena from DS wife. Tyler. Facing. Credit fraud. Vandalism. False reporting. D. facing divorce, financial liability, subpoenaed in my case. And me, still working, still free, still smiling. Oh, and one more cherry on top. Remember those friends who believed her lies? After the truth came out, half of them messaged me apologies. The other half, silence. But the best message came from her sister. I'm sorry, I didn't know. She's out of control. If you need a witness for court, I'll testify. So yeah, the game isn't over. It's just getting to the final round. Update 3. She walked into court like she owned the room. 10 minutes later, her face crumpled, because the judge read something that changed the entire case. And what happened next? Even I didn't see coming. Alright, Reddit. Here we are. The last chapter. If you've been following since the start, thank you. I never expected this saga to go viral, but your support kept me steady through some dark moments. Now it's time to finish the story. Quick recap. I walked out after my wife and her son treated me like a maid with a paycheck. Filed for divorce. Evicted them. Discovered she'd been funneling $$ to another man. And plotting to bleed me dry. Tyler confessed to fake CPS reports and more. My lawyer, Marissa, built a monster case. DS' wife entered the scene, suing them both. And then, court day 1 arrived. I won't lie, I was nervous walking into that courthouse. Not scared, just wired. Like every muscle was on high alert. She showed up with a new lawyer, slick guy in an overpriced suit. She looked tired, thin, hair messy, clothes trying to scream classy, but whispering desperate. Tyler? Nowhere in sight. No show. Court opened. First up, financial fraud and asset recovery hearing. Marissa was surgical. Laid out everything, the hidden bank account, the stolen funds, the forged credit cards, the fake reports, then the bombshell. Remember how Tyler had sent me those screenshots? What I didn't know, he also recorded a phone call. The day after I confronted him, he called his mom, left the recorder running. And in that call, she admitted everything. Admitted she'd lied. Admitted she'd used me. Admitted was her real plan. Marissa dropped the transcript in front of the judge. The courtroom went dead silent. Even her lawyer looked blindsided. He tried to object, judge overruled. And then, the judge leaned forward. Calm, deadly. Mrs. Wife's name. Based on this evidence, I see a clear pattern of fraud, deceit, and malicious intent. You are not entitled to any spousal support. Furthermore, this court will grant full asset recovery to the plaintiff. You will also face potential criminal charges pending investigation. Her face? I will never forget it. 1 second, smirking. Next second, completely shattered. Like the floor had dropped out from under her. And then came the final twist. Just as the judge was about to adjourn, a bailiff entered with a sealed envelope, handed it to the judge. He opened it, read it, looked up. One more item. Mr. D has submitted a sworn affidavit, confirming that your relationship was, in fact, romantic and financial in nature. He has also provided additional evidence of your conspiracy to defraud the plaintiff. This affidavit will be entered into the record. I damn near choked. D flipped. To save his own skin, he threw her under the bus. At that point, her lawyer asked to withdraw from the case. Judge granted it. Outcome? I keep 100% of the house. All fraudulent funds repaid via liens and garnishment. She owes legal fees, not just mine, but DS' wife's as well. Pending criminal charges now being reviewed by the DA. As for Tyler, his charges, credit fraud, false reports, are in motion. He'll likely take a plea deal, but he's got a record now. And me? When I walked out of that courtroom, I swear, the air felt different. Lighter, cleaner. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about balance. I worked for everything I had. They tried to destroy it out of greed and entitlement. Now, they'll live with the fallout. Final aftermath. My wife, rumor is she moved in with her parents. No job, no car, facing mountains of debt. His wife is divorcing him. His company let him go. His reputation, toast. Tyler, couch surfing. No driver's license, thanks to fraud charges. No job. And me? I'm free, debt-free, house fully mine. Promotion at work just came through. Started dating again, slow, healthy. But best of all, peace. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about burning them down. It's about building something so strong they can't touch it. Final words. To anyone out there stuck in a toxic situation, document everything. Stay calm. Play the long game. Because one day, the truth will out. And when it does, you won't have to lift a finger. Thanks for writing this out with me. Reddit. This chapter is closed. And I've never felt more alive.